Hi, welcome to the second episode of Solving Programming Challenges from Hackerrank. Today we are going to solve a personalized echo problem, and they want us to write a bash script which accepts name as input and displays greeting welcome name. And whatever they are going to provide us, we should exchange this name here with the thing that they provided us with. So, for example, here they first specify what are the formats of input and output. We are going to receive one line of text name. So it doesn't always have to be text. When you have some input, it could be a number, could be a file, whatever. This time we are going to get text, and we should display also a line of text. And this line is they repeated what they already said here. Welcome, the name that was given to us. And maybe small note on input and output. You can think about pretty much anything that you can do in programming in the terms of input, some processing that you do, and output. Yes, so no matter how complicated your program is, at the end of the day, you have some input that you are expecting. Might be many different things, might be many different things at many different times, but even if the program is really big and complicated, it will be a compromise of small units that receive some input, do something with this input, and give an output. And always you have to think about the formats, what type of input you expect, what kind of operations you want to do on the input, and what kind of output are you going to provide. So in this case, we have two examples. We work only with text. They give us name Dan, and of course we should then display welcome Dan. And if they give us name Prashant, we should display welcome Prashant. So what do we need to do? What do we need to know? We already introduced concepts of variables last time, and also we introduced the concept of displaying things on the screen, giving some output from our programs with a command called echo. We use this command to display text on a screen, so we can also use it here. They even mentioned it here in the title, a personalized echo. So yes, probably they expect us to use it. And we have to use a variable, so we can't just hard code the name. Let's say my name is Adam, so I can just type welcome Adam. We have to use some kind of variable, and this variable has to be provided by the user, and only then we can make it work. It's pretty basic stuff, but if you've never worked with programming languages before, you have to get used to thinking about programs in this way, about variables, input and outputs. Those are the most, pretty much the most fundamental concepts. Okay, so let's go to the terminal, and pretty much throughout this whole series we will be doing things also not only on the website but in the terminal as well, because I want to show you additional stuff in order to better understand the correct solution. And I will be doing things inside small scripts, and if you want to follow along, you can either create a similar script yourself, or you can type the things that I'm typing directly to the terminal. It should work the same way. Now, let's first think, what should we show? We wanted to use a command called echo. This task is called personalized echo, so for sure we need echo. And we already know that echo works with three different ways. We can use double quotes for our text, we can use single quotes and no quotes. And most of the time we will be using double quotes, because then we can use variables as well. And yes, right now we need a variable because we want a user to provide us with his name, and this name we should use to display it back to him. So we need those double quotes. Now we can type welcome, simple text, and if we didn't have any variable, we would just type it like this, welcome Adam. And now if we want to create a variable, we give it a name. In this case, it's also called name, a variable called name. and then we can store some value inside it. For example, Adam. Yeah, so that's how I can use a variable, and to access it after I created my variable and it exists inside my program, I can use a $sign and the name of my variable, in this case, name. Yeah, so maybe let's stop here, save it. It's the same stuff that we did already last time, and that's how we can use variables. Right now, we are only giving an output, but we are not allowing, we didn't provide any way for the users to give us an input. So for sure we need a new instruction, a new command. This time we will use read. Echo for outputs and read for inputs. We can read the name this way, and now the user will provide his name. We don't have to declare it inside the script. It's still a variable, so we can access it the same way inside echo, but the user will be providing it, and we are using read in order to have this functionality. We can now close the script and start it again. Let's execute the script and see how it works. Okay, so now we are not seeing anything. Nothing is displayed. Why? Because the program is waiting for us to give it some value. So let's give it value Adam. That's our text, that's our input, and it displays welcome Adam. If I execute it again, I can give it any other value. That's the beauty of variables. So for example, I can use Dan from our website example, and this time it displays welcome Dan. Okay, I think that's pretty much it, how it works. It's a little bit hard maybe in the beginning to conceptualize all those things, but you will get used to it. Let's type it one more time here, read name and echo welcome $name. Let us start the script and see how it works. If it works correctly, they are testing it right now, and for the sample test case, we got everything right. We can submit the code, and all the test cases are passing perfectly.